All around the world, freelancing has gathered attention and the hype for its flexibility and yet profitable market. Although it may seem easy at first, but you need to have certain skills and the proper way to connect with your clients in order to be successful. Hello, I'm Kazi Mustansar Tafsir, hosting on behalf of Agent Writing. We are a SEO content writing agency from Bangladesh. We have clients from more than 20 countries. Major countries are from USA, UK, Canada, and China. Today, we are going to conduct an interview with Pearl, a very successful freelancer who can provide us invaluable insights for aspiring freelancers. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
All right. Hi, everyone, and thank you, Ms. Ansara, for that wonderful introduction. So, I'm Pearl De Guzman. I actually started on Upwork way back in 2017 when remote work isn't as popular as it is now. So, back then, I think it was newly rebranded as a different platform in a different name. So, I actually started as a transcriptionist. So, basically, what I do is that I transcribe interviews and meetings of different people, so that's where I started. And then from there, I became a virtual assistant since remote work is fairly new to everyone. So I was trying to navigate my way into freelancing, and I was trying to understand like what kind of services can I offer to clients from around the globe. And so eventually I learned that I actually enjoy content writing and doing SEO. So that's what I focused on after a year or two on Upwork. So that's my quick Upwork journey.
All right.
Mhm.
What was your first freelancing project and how did you land it?
Actually, at first I was actually doing business back in 2016. So fortunately, it failed. So I had to think of something to earn an income without any capital. And somehow I saw on an online magazine that there are actually remote works or remote jobs, freelancing jobs that I can try out. So ever since, I'm actually a fan of doing online tasks. So I tried it, and there I was able to eventually find clients. But at first, like I mentioned, I was doing transcribing for different people, usually career coaches or podcasters. So that's how I started, and that's how I landed my first gig on Upwork.
Um,
Mhm.
since you have had a
Mhm.
successful journey, but you must have faced challenges, right? So, what challenges did you face early in your freelancing career, and how did you overcome them?
Well, actually, one of the biggest challenges is transitioning, because I'm used to like working in a business or a corporate job where you meet people face to face, right? And sometimes, and during that time, actually, anything that you hear that is like an online job sounds like a scam. Like people are usually trying to scam you for your bank account or any other online shenanigans, something like that. So at first, it's actually getting clients because I really don't know where to start. So like I've heard about this website, but I'm not really sure if it's going to work out. So at first, I just tried to send out a lot of proposals, and then eventually, I was able to find someone who trusted me to do very minimal work. It was like a few dollars, and then she liked me, and then she referred me to other clients and to her friends. And then eventually, I got someone to give me a 5-star review on Upwork, and that's where I was able to build my portfolio and give out really good services and 5-star reviews.
That's amazing, and congratulations to you.
Well, thank
Can
you.
you can you share some key milestones in your freelancing career that contributed to your success? Now that you've talked about your challenges, we'd like to hear about your success as well.
Well, I think if you're familiar with transcribing, it's actually difficult to like try to um, start over again and like find and understand the different languages and accents, especially. So before I was transcribing Singaporean meetings, it was really difficult because they have a different tone and accent. They usually use English, so I guess one of the key milestones is when I was able to learn a new skill and I was able to transition from that and virtual assistance to SEO. Well, I actually first learned about SEO from another client of mine who was actually nice enough to give me an opportunity to learn about SEO. So he enrolled me on a course on SEO, and I was able to practice it. And from there, I was able to really open and like get more clients from that and raise my rates. So it was one of the things that really gave me the top rated plus badges because I was able to work on a lot of SEO projects.
So it's really about acquiring skills, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Have
So what other
to be yes.
strategies do you use to
Mm-hmm.
consistently attract new clients and projects?
Personally, I think referrals are actually one of the most underrated and really effective ways to close a deal. So the reason is because someone already put in a good word for you, right? And you just really have to make that really good impression so that you can close that deal. So for me, my principle is to never cut ties. I never cut ties, especially even with past clients, because sometimes they also refer friends or they have another project coming up and then they would remember to hire you again. So aside from that, I also always exit with grace. So those are my two principles when it comes to freelancing. So whatever I do have like good maintain good relationships with different people. That is how I think I'm able to get more clients and really attract good ones because referrals are really something that's really effective aside from having like sending out proposals because when you send out proposals on Upwork you have to like really be consistent and really persistent on sending it out and really make sure that you have a lot of things to offer or you have a really good portfolio. So for me that worked out fine.
All right, that's great to know. Can you share any other tips for creating a standout freelancer profile on platforms
Mhm.
like Upwork or Fiverr?
Okay. I think first of all is to complete your profile, right? I think I've seen a lot of freelancers who don't complete their profile or just have a really basic profile on Upwork. So you have to be able to showcase your experience and your portfolio. So back then, since videos are not a thing, so I would send out sample copies of my previous work and then send out good reviews of different people or different clients that I've worked with. But today, now that a lot of people are into videos, I think one of the things that can help you to stand out on platforms like Upwork is to record a video of yourself, like introducing yourself to the client and what are the main services or what are the things that you can offer. And then given like a short or credentials or portfolio of what you have already done before. And especially, you need to be able to really understand the type of work or the type of help that they need. So you have to really focus on that.
Thank
So
you.
that's
So you work at like multiple projects at the same time, right?
yes, I
So
did.
how do you manage your time effectively to handle multiple projects?
I think a lot of people would say time management, but it really is about time management and also understanding the scope of your projects. For instance, if you are taking hourly projects or hourly jobs, you need to make sure that you actually have enough time to perform and deliver your task well. So that means that as much as it is tempting to actually book yourself more jobs than you could actually take, that would actually not be that beneficial for your profile because then you will have to work overtime or it can overlap with all your other jobs, right? So what I do is that I also take one-time projects or projects that are mostly output driven. By this, it means that you have a deadline you need to work on, you have something that you need to deliver on the specified time so that they don't really get most of your hourly time, so you can work on your free time or you can work on the weekends. So that is how I am able to handle multiple projects. So,
The fact that you said that you work on your free time and the
mhm,
weekends, right? So there's no flexible time for
mhm.
in when you're like freelancing, right? So
Yes.
how do you balance work and personal life as a freelancer?
For me, I really set boundaries with in terms of balancing my personal life and my work. So it is being a freelancer is actually rewarding, right, financially. However, if you overbook yourself, you tend to lose time for your personal life. And for me, I've actually learned this the hard way. So when I was starting as a freelancer, I was really so excited about earning a lot of dollars. So mostly I max out my free time. I'm working even on weekends, Saturdays, Sundays. So sometimes there was actually a week that I worked for like 60 hours. So even more than that. So I really just rest for around like 5 hours of sleep, eat on the job. So that's how I hustled before. But then something happened earlier this year. So unfortunately, my boyfriend passed away early this year. So,
I'm
and
so
during that
sorry.
time, it's okay. But yeah, so well, during that time that it happened, I was still working. I was working on a really urgent project, and it was around midnight. So it wasn't really during my work hours, and I was supposed to check on him that night, but because I was working on a project and I was talking to a client, so I wasn't able to check in on him on time, and he had a heart attack. So I was late for like a few minutes, and we weren't able to rush him to the hospital. So I think that's how I learned how to set your boundaries. You have to let your clients know that, okay, this is my working hours and I won't be available during weekends. Or for instance, if you still want to work on Saturdays, then you can tell them that you're not available on a Sunday because you are reserving that time for your family, right? So I think one of the things that we should remember as a freelancer is that time is also, well, time is gold. Time is really also valuable, right? Because we can always earn the dollars, but you cannot really get the time that you've lost, that you could have spent with your family. So we're trying to earn as much as we could for them, but also be present and enjoy the time that you have with them. So set
I'm so
boundaries.
sorry that you had to go through that.
It's okay. I was able to at least learn from it. So I think
Yeah.
that's life.
All right. So how do you establish and maintain good relationships with your clients?
For me, I always try to understand what they need. Okay, so during the first meeting, I ask them, okay, how can I help you? What are your objectives or goals for this particular project? And then I always lay out what I can and cannot do. You have to always be honest and transparent about your capacity or your capability as a freelancer, whether it is content writing or whatever task, whatever job it is. You always have to be transparent. The reason why you need to be transparent is that they'll get disappointed when you don't deliver, right? So it's okay to under promise and under promise and over deliver. So something like that. So it's better to surprise them that you're able to do something that's beyond their expectations than to promise them the world and not be able to deliver any of that. So you have to always be transparent, you always have to be polite, especially with handling difficult clients. Even if they're really being unreasonable, you have to always take it with grace and always to try to keep your cool. So that's how I maintain good relationships with clients.
So at the end of the day, people
Mhm.
do freelancing for the money, right?
Yes,
So
I believe
in a
so.
way, right? So how
Mhm.
do you handle
Mhm.
pricing and negotiations with your clients? And what is your advice
Mhm.
to new freelancers?
Okay, well, for me, since I already have years of experience doing SEO and content writing, I mostly have a fixed rate unless it is very urgent or customized or very tailored to a specific need of a client. So I'm usually firm with my pricing unless they ask for negotiated. For instance, if this is a fixed pricing for a 1,000 word article and they want to give me bulk orders, then I can be flexible with that. So it's just finding the midpoint or finding a compromise between what you can deliver, your price as a freelancer, and of course your time, and then having to like negotiate that and tell them, okay, this is what I can deliver at this budget. So will you be okay with this? So at least that is what worked for me, and also for new freelancers, since especially if you don't have enough experience yet, you can be a little more flexible with the pricing. Just make sure that it is still worth your effort and worth your time. So there.
So, it's you've worked with many, many people, right?
Yes.
So you must have faced difficult clients as well. So how
Yes.
did you handle disagreements or difficult clients?
Well, actually, first of all, you cannot avoid difficult clients. There will always be clients who would want, for instance, free labor or free work. And as much as I would want to argue with them, like I mentioned, you always have to keep your cool. So when handling difficult clients, I don't always reply when they're trying to be more aggressive, when they're trying to negotiate aggressively with your prices or with the task at hand. So I always try to like breathe first and just really try to think rationally and talk to them, be more logical. And like what I mentioned, always tell them, okay, I can be flexible with you. For instance, since I'm also doing content work, for instance, they would want like 3 revisions or 4 revisions. And usually I just only give like 1 or 2 revisions. And then I'll tell them, okay, I can give you at least 3 or 4 revisions, but more than that, I would have to charge you for a fee, right? Because if you don't do that, and if you don't give out like set out your boundaries, then they will try to like get everything that they can from you. And I've had a client who actually wanted me to revise a copy or an article that isn't even what I've written. Like it is written by another writer. And apparently the article wasn't good, and I had to revise a lot of his or her work. So I didn't agree to that. I told him that I can only revise something that I've written. So that is an example of a difficult client trying to get or extract free work from you. So keep your cool and just really be firm and set your boundaries and talk to them politely.
So establishing a boundary is very, very important, right?
Yes, I believe it's very important.
So, so what is your highest payment rate you have charged to
Mhm.
client for 1,000 words or per
Mhm.
hours?
I think for me, the highest in terms of hours is my current rate. It's $20 per hour. As for an article, it actually depends on the topic. So there are articles that are easier to write because they are very like common knowledge, right? So for articles that need a little more technicality or research, I can charge for at least 75 or $80 per an article. So, but that would also require like research, and sometimes it would also require me to check academic resources.
Pal, I have a question for you.
Yes, sure.
Are you receiving any writing that your client is expecting from written by AI?
Yes,
That
yes. Actually, nowadays, since AI and ChatGPT is very popular, right? So there are clients who are trying to haggle for the price, and they would haggle with you by asking you to write with AI. And honestly, it's difficult to raise your prices now with ChatGPT and AI. And as much as I would say that it is not affecting my work as a content writer, it is actually affecting the rates that I can ask from clients. So with AI, as long as one they have the software itself, you don't have to pay an extra for it, or you already have it and you don't mind paying for the tool yourself, then it's okay. I can probably give them a discounted rate with using AI, but that also means I should take into consideration the type of content or the topic. So if it's something that they want to be written by AI and it's a simple or common detail or common knowledge topic, then it's fine. I can work with that. But if it's something that requires more research, and then there are some clients who would ask you to write with AI and then use the content, I mean, paraphrase the content so that it is not detectable, then that is something else, right? Because it's difficult to ask AI to write it for you and then make sure that it's not detectable. So sometimes it's just a way of some clients to get a lower rate from you. So you just have to also be careful with that.
Do you
All
think
right.
that the
Mhm.
amount of AI work will increase because a client can generate AI writing? So why
Yes.
they will assign to us to write that kind of writing, AI
Mhm.
writing? Because
Oh,
using ChatGPT, client
yes.
can also easily
Write it
generate
themselves.
the content. So
Yes, that's
why
true.
they will assign to freelancer like us?
Mhm. Okay, one of the things actually that's difficult or is a challenge with AI is that technically AI just actually collects all of the information that it can get online, right? And there are already a lot of published content online, and sometimes when you deliver it to a plagiarism or copyright, there could be copyright problems or plagiarism. The reason is that AI cannot fully filter out everything or paraphrase everything, because basically it's just getting content from all over the web. And there are some parts or portions of the article or content that could be similar to something that is already published online. That's one of the things that AI is, at least for now, is limited. The second one is that you also need to check whether it is, you need to do some fact checking. So since everything is published online, we're not sure if everything that the AI was able to collect is actually factual or is actually based on what is already from research or proven. Because anyone can actually post anything, right? Regardless if it is true or not. So our work or our responsibility as content writers is also at least to check if anything, like any statistic or anything that AI has produced, is actually legitimate. So that's another task for us as content writers. And also, of course, we have to make sure that it is SEO optimized. So even if there are actually some tools now that can help stuff keywords on an article, sometimes it's not enough to make it SEO optimized, or sometimes it is overly optimized or over stuffed with keywords. So for us, we have to make sure that it is still humanly written and humanly sound.
So I think the demand of
Mhm.
the fact checker or the editing
Yes.
are increasing day by
Mhm.
day. So
Yes.
the writer or
Mhm.
copywriter also focus on that sector, that
Yes.
fact checking or editing sector. So that
Yes.
will be the best for freelancer who are
Yes.
focusing on the copywriting or content writing
Hmm.
actually.
Yes, that's also true.
So thank you.
So yes, welcome. And actually, I just want to add that sometimes it also depends. Like if you're doing copywriting, copywriting is also different from content writing, right? So more people actually can do more copywriting because, like I mentioned, AI can spew a lot of content, but only humans or human writers or copywriters can really do good copies for websites or different types of other like platforms or form of media. All right.
All right.
Mhm.
Can you hear me? Okay. AI is booming in all sectors. Should
Mhm.
we depend on our
Mhm.
existing skills or should we learn new skills? If yes, what is
Mhm.
your future plan?
Honestly, right now we can't really say the extent of the development in AI, right? Because there are still a lot of companies and tech companies that are developing their AI and different types of platforms. For me, since it is already affecting at least my field, which is content writing, this is why I think a lot of us should also still diversify our skills and be open to learning new skills. So this is why um, I also studied SEO. So it's one of the things like if there is not enough jobs for content writers right now because AI is taking it, then at least we have something to fall back on. So for me, I try to diversify my skills, and apart from that, I also try to learn not just only like doing freelancing work, but I also try to invest in other businesses or in other vehicles, investment vehicles such as real estate. So anything that can actually help me to grow my income.
That's a very good plan. So freelancing websites,
Mhm.
Upwork and Fiverr have been very competitive sites for new freelancers. Do you have
Mhm.
any suggestions to work on any other platforms where people can work as a beginner?
Okay, well, for me, I actually started freelancing in a different website. It's called onlinejobs.ph. So it's a specific website for Filipinos. So that's where I've started. So if you can find any other platforms that specializes or have like a smaller community or niche, that would be better opportunity. It would have better opportunities for you basically because one, people there are looking exactly for the type of work that you do. I know that especially in content writing, there are clients who actually look for native English speakers, and sometimes they don't really hire Asians, and they would sometimes refer someone in the US or in Europe because they know that they are better English speakers, right? So if you can focus on smaller websites, not just Upwork and Fiverr, also communities and groups, it's also one of the things that you can check out on. I know that I've seen somewhere that there is like a list of platforms that actually cater to different types of services or different types of fields. So there is a specific website for, say, content writers, and then there's another website for IT or design. So you can check on that and also build your profile from those types of platforms. So you have to be really flexible. I think LinkedIn also now has a feature where it's showing up different job opportunities for people. So you can also use that. Just be able to really build your profile on different platforms because after all, you can't put all your eggs in one basket, right? So have to
It's
be.
all about branching out, right?
Yes, exactly. It's all about branching out.
Yeah.
So,
So you're an off-page
mhm.
SEO specialist, right? So can
Mhm.
you tell me which type of backlinks are most effective for SEO in 2023?
Okay, as much as actually I love guest posts, so I would say that it's not as effective as what I call HARO or hire reporter out. It's basically sending out journalists a piece of your content or opinion on a particular topic. So these are effective in such a way that, one, of course, these are journalists, so these are legitimate people who write on websites with high domain authority. By that, it means higher Google score, something like that. And these are websites with higher traffic as well. So they are most likely to get picked up by Google. So for me, I think it's one of the best, or if not the best, backlink to get. But it is also, at least in my experience, the most difficult to get this type of backlinks because it would require you a lot of effort and time to really check on different journalists. And most of the time, your pitches wouldn't even get noticed. So you have to always be on the lookout for people who can, or any topic that you can share your insights to, or help your client out to share their insights on this specific industry or whatever field they are working in.
All right. Um, can you tell me how to get Haro links? Any strategies to get them?
Okay, there's actually a website called helpareporterout.com. I think I've also mentioned that in the previous interview, so you can go check it out. So here you have to sign up, and then you can ask your client to get a plan so that they can receive different queries or different questions from different journalists. So usually these are journalists that are looking to write an article for a particular website, and they would need quotations or insights or different opinions from a person, and a person in a expert who is expert in a specific industry. So for me, I just tell it out straight to the point and just write pitches. So number one, with the headline, I try to get the main idea of what I want to say about the topic itself, something that's really quotable or something that's really attention grabbing. And then in the body of the email, of course, you have to expound on what you want to say, expound on the basic or the main idea that you have put out on the headline. So as much as possible, I make it like straight to the point. If it's not going to be valuable to the topic itself, I try to omit it or remove it out. So make your introduction short. Tell the journalist why your pitch is worth checking out, what is your credibility, and why they should listen to you. And then at in the body of the text or the content, then you can explain to them on that particular topic and make sure that you have also inserted or said some quotable quotes because usually those are what journalists are looking for.
So,
Mhm.
Can you see an example how you send the pitch to the reporters?
Oh, I
Is
can
it possible?
actually, yeah, I can. Sorry,
If you
because
don't have
the
privacy,
yeah,
if you don't have privacy.
yeah, because the account is actually owned by my client because it has to be linked to their account itself. So everything is in there. I can't show it out because it's not mine. Usually, when I do Haro or help a reporter out, usually you link it to your client's account, and then you just write out or ask them for their insights or their opinion on a particular query. So, but recently, maybe I can share a bit of so like some details of what got accepted from one of our Haro strategies or efforts. So, it was a query about like how AI is actually disrupting or how AI is affecting a particular industry, any particular industry. And this client of mine is working in IT and manufacturing. So he mentioned about how AI is working in manufacturing. And I think it's one of underrated topics right now because usually AI is used in customer service and all other fields. So it is something that is worth noting because not a lot of people are talking about it yet. And then we said very specific, very specific, what do you call this? A very specific outcome or specific way that AI is affecting the manufacturing industry. So the headline is about okay how AI is affecting the manufacturing industry, and then in the body of the pitch is how exactly AI is affecting it. So I think the journalist was actually picked. It actually picked the interest of the journalist because it's like I said, it's underrated topic. And then now that journalist wanted to have an interview with my client so that they can feature my client in a BuzzFeed article. So yeah, you have
all
to also
right.
really think about what would spur their interest.
Yeah. So you've shared a lot of advices
Mhm,
to
mhm,
anyone starting a new career in
mhm.
freelancing. What advice do you have for someone just starting their freelancing career in SEO and copywriting?
Okay, so for those who are starting their career in SEO and copywriting, I would say to always build out your portfolio. Now, I've actually received because I did copywriting classes before too, and what I commonly get asked about is how to start their career as a new SEO or new copywriter, right? So for me, what I do is that since I do both SEO and copywriting, and I think there are actually also writers who just do one thing and not do SEO, you have to always like try to bundle your services. Like for instance, since I can do content writing, I would tell them, okay, I can also do keyword research for you, help you out, check your pages. So when you bundle your services and build out your portfolio, or that can help you to actually get hired. So, for instance, if you're a newbie and you don't have that much of a portfolio yet, you can try to add some extra work. For instance, yeah, keyword research. You can tell them, okay, I can actually help you out with your keyword research. So it's something that I can throw in for free for you. So once you're able to get more projects and you're able to like build more of your portfolio, then you can stop giving that extra service for free, and then you can actually um, charge your clients for that.
All right.
Mhm.
So What are your future goals as a freelancer and how do you plan to achieve them? People say not to keep all eggs in one jar, right? So,
Right.
do you have other income sources except for Upwork? If yes, what are those?
I think one of the actually common or like usually the goals of a freelancer, not just like to earn by yourself, is to create an agency or create your own company, right? If you have an expertise in a particular niche, whether it is SEO, copywriting, or IT, web design, or anything, I think a lot of freelancers want to create their own company, to have their own website, and to have that as another source of income aside from Upwork. So for me, I've actually started my own agency. It's a small SEO and copywriting agency. And right now, I'm trying to also build out its organic traffic, and hopefully in the future, in a few more years, I'll be able to establish it further. But aside from that, I also make sure to try to invest in other, like I mentioned, in other investment vehicles. For instance, I also invested in my brother's e-commerce business. E-commerce is also something that is booming um, at this time, right? So I also try to invest in that, and then since we're actually, I mean, let's be honest, as freelancers, we can actually earn a lot of money in exchange of our hours. And since I did a lot of that earlier in my previous years, I was also able to invest in real estate. So I'm able to sometimes flip properties. So it's also something that you can check out and you can do while also doing freelancing. So
So the
be
goal is
open.
not to keep your money in one place, but to invest,
Yes,
invest, invest, right?
yes, exactly. Because we don't know how, like right now, the competition is getting stiffer, it's getting tougher. So I've seen that the rates are getting lower as well. So it's actually peak time for freelancing because everybody's into it. Even the people from corporate backgrounds, they used to stay in corporate and become a manager and climb the corporate ladder, right? But now everybody, like a lot of people, are switching to freelancing, especially in Asia and in my home country, in the Philippines too. So you have to really learn to diversify. So if you haven't established yourself yet, or you're struggling to get clients, you have to know like how to get more skills, where to invest your money. So you have to be really flexible.
Mm,
Yes.
Hepal, there is
Okay.
you already have a
Mhm,
content writing skill, and
mhm,
you know the
mhm.
how to backlink and other offsite
Yes.
SEO. I think it is a best to go in the blogging sector because people are
Mhm,
making lots of passive income from the blogging sector.
mhm,
So I think if you build any blogging niche with your existing capabilities, you can
mhm.
easily reach the goal. Because
Thank you.
I want to share my my website.
Yes.
I will not disclose my website link, but we
Okay.
started 2 years before in the blogging sector, and we reached 80,000 visitor per month from USA,
Wow. Wow.
and that
That's
site
awesome.
was making about
Mhm,
$4,000 to $5,000 per month.
mhm.
And but after the Google's recent update, uh,
Yes.
this site is a little bit down now.
Mhm,
So but there is a lots of niches that are performing well, like food
mhm.
niche or other niches. So do you have any plan to start the blogging sector? Because I think the return on investment is very high in here,
Mhm,
like the uh, real estate, but there is
mhm.
a lots of risks also. So do you
Uh,
have any plan?
yes, it's actually true. It's just that for me, I think I'm actually working on my current website now and I'm revamping it. I've had quite a couple of articles in there, and I would want to focus on those articles and get people to notice my website from like digital marketing, from those types of topics. I'm actually familiar with that, and I agree with you with that. A lot of people are actually earning a lot from blogging. For one, we also reach out to these blogs for guest posts, for promotions, for PR. I did also a lot of that, and I would agree with you that it is really actually earning a lot of money. But also, if you have, I mean, it's a good way to put up a blog, especially if you don't have enough capital for high risk or different types of investments. But also, you just have to know that, of course, it for you it definitely took some time, right, to build out your articles and get noticed and also increase your organic traffic. So if you have a lot of time for that and you can also focus on that, I think that is also a good way to earn another source of income from online. So yes, thank you so much for that advice. It's actually great if you can put out a blog. And I know a lot of people actually like put out a lot of blog websites and they're also earning from affiliates. So affiliates are also a type of marketing where brands pay you for every sale you make from your website. So I agree with you. It's also a really great way to earn aside from freelancing.
Thank you, Pearl. Is there anything else you'd like to share with aspiring freelancer or any final thoughts?
Oh, well, for me, I think in my experience is that I just want to tell aspiring freelancers to always be open and constantly improve on your skills. So our industry is always or constantly evolving, like what we have now with AI and different technologies. So I would say that the competition is also tougher right now. So you have to be always on your toes and always be up to date with the latest trends that are happening in online in freelancing. So you have to always upgrade your skills, upgrade your portfolio, really try to be more diverse in that sense. And of course, always prioritize your mental and physical well-being and also make time for your family. So of course having work is important, but also so is your health, right? And so don't forget to take breaks and spend time with your loved ones. Don't feel guilty if you're spending time with your family instead of working. So make sure that you just really allocate or allot time for work and for your personal time. So that's it. And hope everyone or at least people are able to pick up some insights from me and from my experiences.
Thank you so much, Pearl. We loved having you here. And I've also learned a lot from you in these past few minutes. Thank you so much for your helpful insights. And thank you for educating our audience with your knowledge, immense knowledge on this topic. So I would really like for our audience to let us know about this their opinion on this interview and what we can do to help them further. So that would be it. That's it for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching our video. Thank you.
Thank you.